All right. So we left off. You guys were more or less had just finished up talking to Mac and had decided to go out into the city and do some shopping and stuff. And I took it based on what your all's feedback is. It'll be a couple of days, or a day or so before you took off to go after this job. You got a week till you got to report back on that job, or before they expect to hear something back from you in relation to capturing a troll. So I'll let the party take it away.
So how do you want us to handle like what we said as far as the shopping thing? Are we going to like stick together to go shopping? Or are we going to like break up? How do we need to handle that?
It's totally up to you all as a group. You can split into several groups. You can go off on your own and do shopping. That is totally up to you. The others can kind of listen in. If you split up, it doesn't matter to me. It is up to you all.
Yeah, it's a Grun. I'll just speak up first. He'll probably not be too worried about sticking with the group. He's going to go try to find some kind of a way to send money back to his family. And that's what he'll also do is trying to see if he can find a health potion for what little bit of money he's got left. And also try to find some other guards or city watch or whatever to kind of pick their brain on trolls and see if he can figure out anything about them.
All right. Anybody going to tag along with Grun, or are you guys going to separate out here?
I was thinking, Quorum's kind of doing the armor shops, if someone's doing weapon shops, and if Brian's kind of doing, if Grun's going to kind of do other stuff or magic shops, maybe we split up that way.
Grun has no intention of going to a magic shop because he is like dirt poor. He knows he's not going to buy anything.
Healing potion, I figured that's got to be some kind of either general store or magic shop, right?
Yeah, that'd be a general store or a magic shop. You can look in both and see what you can find. Okay, well, while you guys... Oh, there's Bircher, what?
I think I'm going to probably try and tag along with someone. Just sort of like she's going to tag along with the person who's going to the same stores as she is, mostly.
And that would be?
I think probably Grun, I imagine.
Okay. So it's like Bircher and Gunn are going together?
Yeah, I'm going to join them too.
Well, then shit, might as well keep the party together. I can just swing by a freaking leather armor shop on the way back.
All right. So I'll just take it as it hits down there. So it looks like Grun kind of is one leading the charge. So where would you head toward first, Grun, or you just kind of walk around and see what you find?
Well, I'm going to try to find someplace so I can get a healing potion, hopefully pretty dirt cheap.
Okay. How do you go about looking for that? I'm going to switch the map to the city just for background while we're talking.
Well, out of character, does Grun have an idea of where to go look? Assuming he's been in town for a while. He's got to have some kind of idea where that you might be able to find some.
Yeah, you've been in town long enough, and you know that most of the decent shops or places to find the marked stuff would be over in Market's Reach, which is kind of across the river from where you're at. If you look on the map, there's actually a big label called Market's Reach, and actually underneath that, which I kind of hit it, I didn't mean to, is actually a huge marketplace. It's where they'll set up shops and stalls and things like it, kind of like an open air market. And you see a couple little plazas in that area where they do more. There's markets like that all over the city, but if you're looking for about anything, you can find it at Market's Reach. Not only will you find local stuff that's produced there, but anything new coming in off the ships from down below would be shipped in there too, or show up there too at first.
Okay. All right. So as we're making our way there, I'll at least tell the group that I'm going to try to find some kind of a courier service, and I'll duck in there real quick to do a quick little letter and send money out home before we kind of go on our way.
Okay. So we'll take that first, get that out of the way for you. As you're walking down the street there, you find a sign that you're kind of familiar with. It shows a quill, and then it shows a Pegasus with wings, Pegasus wings. A Pegasus and a quill symbol together, and that's kind of the local symbol for couriers and mail and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So you pop in I'm assuming you go in the door there. When you walk in the door, it's a very plain looking shop or building. There's several desks, and at each one of the desks there's a person sitting at one of the desks. And there's like little stalls where you can walk, kind of like what banks used to be years ago, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
So you can walk up to like one of the tellers or one of the couriers there to arrange what you need.
All right. So I'm gonna make it I'm assuming at this point I've probably done this at least once since I've been here, so it should be a familiar process for me. But
yeah,
Grun's basically gonna walk up and kind of take his coin pouch and dump about half of it out and look at the teller a little bit. And I need to send 50 home. Can you help me count this, please?
The teller looks up at you. It's a young man. He looks up at you. He's kind of got blondish, dirty blonde hair. He looks up and he counts through it and he goes, "Okay, looks like about." And he goes, 50 gold pieces. That sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. He pulls that aside and goes, "And where do you want to send this to?"
I don't know what the address actually, but somewhere in Beach Castle.
Okay.
I'll explain to him if it has an address or if it's like up the hill and by the big stone and between the two oak trees and then right next to the little outdoor oven. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And he takes down the information, the description of where you want it to be sent to, and he goes, "Okay." And the name that this person is being tendered to?
Send it to the Brigand.
The Brigand. Okay. He says, "How do you spell that?"
And he starts scribbling on the desk.
Okay. He kind of looks it upside down and he transcribes and he turns his little notepad around and says, like this, and he points at what he's written down. It matches the symbols that you made on the table.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Okay. Says, "Okay, 1 second." So that'll be, looks at it and goes, that'll be 2 gold pieces for the transaction, sir?
I kind of cuss under his breath a little bit and take another 2 gold pieces out, but that includes my letter too, right?
Oh, yes. And your letter, do you have it pre-written?
No. Do you have paper and a quill?
Certainly, sir. He hands you a piece of paper and a quill and says, "If you jot that down real quick."
Yeah, I'll take several minutes and kind of write out a little letter. Consists of maybe about 15 words.
Okay. He looks around and he goes, excellent. Give me I want to see how good your penmanship is, so give me a dex check.
Oh, dex. Alrighty then. I can make it look pretty. It may not mean shit, but I can make it look pretty.
Oh, excellent. He goes, "Oh, your handwriting's quite good, sir. 1 moment, please." And then he reaches around and he takes your stuff and he counts it and puts it over there. You see him write out a bill, a lady, more like a lading bill for the 50 gold pieces. He turns and says, "Can you verify that this 50 gold pieces," and has the name, it has the Brigand's name on it, 50 gold piece to be delivered to, and the address and all that. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, that'll work.
Excellent. He pulls that back and goes, "Okay." And he goes, "Okay, one more thing." And he goes over and he goes back to the back, not the back, but like right behind him, and he pulls out a bottle. The bottle it's not a glass bottle. It's made like a jewel, like a jewel. It is glass, but it looks like jewels. And around the throat of the bottle where it narrows, he has, or it has, a set of jewels set into it. He takes those jewels and he looks down and he pulls out a big tome from underneath the desk. He thumbs through it and he starts adjusting the jewels. And he watches, he's touching these jewels. They start changing colors to certain colors. And he looks at the table, looks at the jewels, looks at his table in the book. This is just, yeah, that's it. He takes the note that you just provided, the letter you just wrote, rolls them up, shoves them down the bottle. He puts a cork in the bottle. Then he takes sealing wax and seals the bottle. Says, everything valid, sir? Everything sealed?
Yeah.
Very well.
Sure.
And he sets them on the table and he pulls out a small rod and he taps the bottle on both sides and pop, it's gone. That should arrive by tomorrow.
Sweet. Thanks for your help, bud.
You're welcome. Anytime. Now,
Just so I'm clear, the gold was in that little jewel thing too, right?
yeah, well, he took the bill for the amount of gold. The gold itself was put away in a storage box, but he transferred that bill validating what you were going to send and all that. That went in the bottle.
Ah, I'm with you.
Now, for those of you who don't know how this, or can't figure out how this works, there is a messenger bottle service that's available throughout the world for small paper items. And what Grun basically has just done is basically sent a check to the office in the city, the community where he's at, or a city where he's nearby. That bottle will appear there, and then they'll pull the note out, pull out the gold from their funds there, and then deliver it there. That's what the 2 gold piece charge was for.
All right, I'm good.
All right. So you continue on down. You cross one of the, let's see, probably the bridge by the stronghold itself. So as you're walking down the city there, let me change my button here so I don't cut out. That should be better. So as you're walking down the city there, you pass by the actual Goomtar stronghold, the original stronghold the city grew up around. And Goomtar stronghold sits on a pinnacle of stone. And around the pinnacle, it drops down below, and you know it goes several hundreds of feet below into the grotto below where the ships themselves come in. That pinnacle of stone, that spire of stone, goes all the way down to the base rock there. There's 2 bridges that cross over to the stronghold. And the stronghold is the official seat of government. It's also the main defense point of the city. The city is slightly on a rise here, not a huge rise, but slightly higher in the middle. And that's where the main defense is, where the main guard is housed. It's where any court cases, things like that, are held. That's where a lot of the business, as far as what involves the city itself, takes place. And you cross one of the other bridges. You come across and you pass by a building. I'll ping it here on the map. Let me get my decent ping. Pass by the little building right there. You should be able to see it on the map. I'm pinging it with fire. A place called what's referred to as the Sanctum of Knowledge. The Sanctum of Knowledge is one of the biggest libraries in this part of the world. It literally, it's a humongous library, but it's also a research library, and it also is a school. This is where you're going to find a lot of the mages and things like that in town being trained. And it's official and it's protected. So actually, one of the reasons why Goomtar Stronghold is rarely attacked is because of the fact that the Sanctum of Knowledge resides here. One of the most standout groups in the Sanctum of Knowledge, and they originated here in Goomtar Stronghold, is a group called the Ruby Scribes. And the Ruby Scribes travel throughout the world and collect information, events, history, current events, and these things, and they record them in their ledgers, and then those ledgers are brought back here and they're codified and written up into official histories. The thing about a Ruby Scribe is their training is such that it doesn't allow them to remember their day-to-day events. They can remember everything that goes on that day, picture perfect, and they'll scribe it in their book, in their text, in their scribe journal. But at the end of the day, they have no short-term memory of the world other than what's in their ledgers, in their books. So that most Ruby Scribes carry 2 scribe books, one that's their own personal memories of the day, and one that's the official account of the day that they use to record stuff with. The thing about a Ruby Scribe is They're kind of like a ruby scribe could walk across a battlefield in a pitched battle and never be attacked by a single soldier or general because they are neutral. They will not interfere in any way or any manner in what's going on. And it's because of the way they record histories and the way that they have been, the other countries and places have been brought up to respect and revere what they do, that they have this protection. As you pass by the Sanctum of Knowledge, you go down another main thoroughfare there, and you reach the main market square. The main market square is literally teeming with every smell that you can think of. Distant spices and meats are being cooked. There's a bedlam of people coming and going and talking and selling, and there's people chanting and hawking their wares, and everything and anything can be found here, and that of course is right in here. And the central part there of market reach and why the big market has grown up here is, and what you really can't see, that kind of round thing there, is the ramp that comes up from the grotto below where the shipments are brought up into the city and dispersed out into the shops and those sort of things. There's a constant flow of traffic coming out of that and going to the bridges and dispersing out into the city. But growing up around all this and amongst it is this huge market. And not only is there the stalls, but all these buildings around the edge and all these in this area here, these are different shops and places like that. Now, one of the places that was mentioned that we were looking for was a place to buy potions and things like that, correct?
Correct.
After a little bit of asking around and looking around, you spot a door to a shop. The door is, I can't find what I'm looking for. There it is. The door of the shop itself is a bright red door with violet stripes going across it in a pattern. Beside the door, on either side, is a set of windows, and the windows literally go all the way to the top of the building and across the building. But by windows, it's not like a shop window. It's like dozens of little individual house windows that's been embedded in this wall for this shop. And each one of them has a display with various glass bottles with different colors of liquids in it and powders and things like that. And there's a little sign just above the door. And of course, all of you can read common. And the sign in common says, Findelward's Curious Curios.
Right, so we all find this, or just one of us, or how does this work?
I assumed you guys are all kind of walking together, so.
All right, so I guess during this, our walk over there, I'm at least going to ask everybody else in the group, is anyone else like wanting the magic potion, the healing potion as well, or is it just me?
I fancy taking a look.
Yeah, I'll look around.
Okay, as you guys come in the door there and as you're passing by the window displays, how about give me a quick perception check?
All of us, or just one?
All of you. Rand, you're still whispering.
I apologize. Do you want to whisper or no?
No, don't whisper. I'm just letting you know, I don't really care, but the others might want to know that lovely 14 you just pulled off. Okay, everybody has rolled high enough to notice it. As you get into the doors, you're coming in the door in the shop, and you kind of look, and you're now closer to those, those bottles and stuff in the window. You realize these are probably just displays, probably not anything really of value in the window. But you can tell that it's done very artfully so that it looks like the real thing. It's just as you get closer, you realize, that potion of giant strength looks like a painted rock, not an actual eyeball floating in there or various things like that. So as you come in the door to Findelward's, the room, about 20, 30 foot square, maybe a little bit bigger. In the center of Findelward's is a huge wraparound counter. And behind that counter, in the middle, will be the middle of the room, is actually a set of shelves that go floor to ceiling, and they have bottles and vials and you name it, it's there, powders and spell components and all these things like that. And then behind it is this really tall, spindly elf. He's dressed in clothes that are very outlandish, and they use a lot of reds and violets in the clothing. And he kind of turns to you and goes, "So, what can I do for you?"
Healing potions. Please.
Healing potions? Yes. Let me see. Let's see here. What kind would you be looking at?
He kind of looks around everybody else. The kind that heals.
Ah, the kind that heals. A healing potion. Got it. And he looks around and goes, well, let's see. I have one of these. And he points at something. I have one of these. Now, what were you looking for again?
The healing potions.
Ah, yes, healing
dude.
potions. I have one of these. He points to the same bottle he just pointed at. And one of these. This one is a potion of greater healing. And this one is it's just a potion of healing.
It's just a what?
A potion of healing.
Yeah.
It makes you better.
Yeah. That's what we're looking for. How much you talking here?
Ah, how much are we talking? Let's see here. Man of discerning taste wants to know the price up front. Very good.
Graham just kind of shrugs.
Let's see here. This is where in the background the DM first do his notes to find out what he calls price stuff at. Okay, so let's make this healing potions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's see. The greater healing, I can sell that one. Those are very uncommon. Very hard to come by. I can sell that to you for 200 gold.
He laughs out loud. He's like,
Yes. What's the joke?
that's. I mean, I'm just saying, out of character. That is outrageous price, right?
Yes. It's a little high.
Okay. All right. So I'm like, dude, I'm not sure you're all up there, but that's a crazy ass price.
Ah, well, you might be able to find it cheaper. Now, the healing potion, those are quite common. Those go for 100 gold.
I would think that with a place like this, you'd have a little bit better establishment with prices like that.
Well, you're welcome to find it, but see, the problem is, he kind of leans toward the kind of spiritual man. He goes, the problem is, healing potions require certain herbs. You understand this, correct?
No.
Yes, healing potions require herbs and other things you put in it, and the problem is, the herbs that these potions require don't grow here. Have to ship them in.
All right, Grun's just gonna shrug. He's gonna look at the rest of the group. Says, "Guys, this is all yours. I can't buy anything here." And Grun's gonna kind of just turn his back to the guy, like he's making his way towards the door.
I do have one other thing that might interest you, large sir.
Grun will kind of look back over his shoulder a little bit, waiting for him to say something else.
Instead of a potion, what about an ointment?
What about a what?
An ointment.
I'm not familiar with this.
I thought you were more discerning than that. Have you ever heard of Kimati's ointment?
No.
No? You have not heard of this? Well, this is a very wondrous ointment. And it's like a salve. You know what an ointment is, right?
Sure.
Good. You know what an ointment is, right?
Sure.
Good. An ointment, you take it and you rub it on the wound, or you rub it on here, or you can, I guess you could swallow it too. It might not taste very good, but you can swallow it. I do have some of that.
Alright, is that outrageously expensive too?
Well, let's see here. Actually gotta roll some. Hold on. The dice are not with you. As well, I'm afraid it is quite a bit more expensive than the other items, but the advantage to the ointment is there's 4 doses in a bottle.
Okay. It's probably outside my price range.
Well, you'll keep us in mind.
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry, I missed it. How much did you say?
For the ointment, sir? Oh, ma'am, sorry.
I was just saying out of character, I actually just missed it.
The ointment itself is 600 gold. Berkshire's out.
I might be back later for the potion. Might.
Well, we do keep those in stock. Now, one thing I can say that if there's other potions you need or items you need, like I said, I do apologize. Healing potions are quite expensive here at Gumtod due to the lack of the herbs. But we do manufacture the potions here. Though I have only one of each on the shelves, I can make more. That is not a problem. Now, what was it you wanted again?
At this point, Grun's walked out of the building, so this is
Okay.
all you guys.
Dash would ask, do you by chance have any idea where to get some chains and a lock? Or
A
do you by
chains
chance
and a
sell them?
lock. Let me see, sir. What would you need chains and a lock for? This is a potion store. I don't sell those things. Hello there.
Or if you know where we could get
Oh,
some.
well, if you're looking for a merchant, a handler, if you go across the market there and hang a left at that bright green booth and then a right at the red booth, you will find a place right along the river edge there called, I figure, it's not very creative, it's called the River's Edge General Store.
Also, you mentioned that you could make potions.
Yes, sir.
What herbs do you need for that?
Well, what potion do you want?
Well, you're mentioning healing potions, so and you mentioned they're rare, but what kind of herbs are those?
And he lists off 3 or 4 of the herbs, he says, I don't know, I have to make some up for you, obviously. But he rattles them off and he goes, it's these 2 here. And he says, again, he names 2 specific herbs. These 2, they don't grow here. So we have to import them from outside of the city into the city. Now, a number of my competitors say they will import the whole potions. But I am able to cut down on my price and sell it almost at what they would consider the wholesale price because I manufacture the potions themselves and I have the herbs purchased and shipped to me instead of making the potions and having the potions shipped to me.
Okay. Well, thank you. I don't need anything else.
Okay.
And Dash would walk out.
Any others?
I'd probably walk out as well. Would by chance Bertrand know any of the herbs, considering she's lived in the wild most of her life?
One of the herbs you do recognize it by its name, but you do know that, particularly in this region, it is extremely difficult to find, if not impossible to find in this region. Now, like the mountains where you're from, you know they can be found there, but even there it's hard to find that herb.
Fair enough. I'd still leave.
Switch out my goofy voice there. I assume there that the rest of the group is leaving. Okay, he did give you directions to the river's edge, which is the general store, and it's just kind of across the market. It's really not that far. He made it sound far, but with all the tents, it is a little bit of a winding passage through here, but it's not that far. Are we headed there, or were we headed?
Does anyone else
I'm
have
looking for the armor shop still.
Okay. As you round the corner there, headed toward the general store, you come across, it's kind of down a little bit of an alley, but you see the sign out of the corner of your eye, Corum. It had this, well, it's a great axe. Looks like it's probably of orcish make, and it's hanging above the door, hanging out from a door on a shop down that alleyway, and it's framed up in a frame around it, that's painted bright red and also has violet striping around it.
Interesting. Now, I would assume that would be a weapon shop, not like a leather shop, correct?
Yeah, this was more of a weapon shop.
Does anyone need any weapons?
Grun's just gonna kind of snort. So I got money to buy shit around here.
I'm good.
So as you continue on there, and if I want to go ahead and sing out, and interestingly enough, most of the shops, and I will point this out about this shop, most of the shops have names. You know, like on the sign there would be a name that says like the name of the shop is, like Fendel Ward's had Fendel Ward's Curios written outside. This one that has this big axe has no name. It's just this big axe hanging on the wall. So as you come around through there and you come around and you work your way around, you find a shop that is set back a little bit off the street, not hugely off the street, just back just a little bit. It's kind of got it's actually got a full porch across the front, is what it is. It's a covered porch, and the whole wall of the shop is painted violet, the color violet, all the way across the shop. And the sign above the porch in bright black letters against the violet coloring reads the River's Edge. And you can look in a few of the windows, and this one actually has true, shop windows with shuttered boards that would normally cover them during the evening, but during the day they're open. And you can see like pickaxes and various other kinds of general equipment that you might need for adventuring or for working in the mines or any kind of general work that this shop has.
Do we see any kind of ones that would signify a tanner or some kind of leather worker?
Actually, just like 2 or 3 doors down from there is a tannery as well. You can tell because of the odor.
Excellent. I will make my way there.
So as you approach this one, the door to it is painted in bright red. It's very unassuming. You can tell it's a tannery by the smell and the fact that over the sign says Knobs Tannery and Leatherworks above the door. But the door itself is very plain. It's painted a brilliant bright red. And it's just a standard size entry door when you come into it.
All right, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to go in.
Okay, so you
Dash, are you coming?
Well, I was gonna pick up some chain and lock first, but yeah, I can swing in there first.
All right.
So you walk in, and first thing you see is a very small-looking shop. The shop is almost claustrophobic. You come in, and it's just one long counter. There's enough room for all of you guys to stand like side by this counter, so it's a fairly long counter. But there's just enough room if you stand by the counter for a person to pass behind you. So like Bertra and probably even Grun, if their state would be standing at the counter, they would fill most of that space and make it difficult for people to go on down to one of the other places. There is.
Can I make sure I'm standing away from Grun in his loincloth?
That's up to you.
Yes. Corum definitely makes that decision to remove himself from the close vicinity.
Yes. So, sitting behind this counter, almost at a desk, it is a little old woman. She has a set of multi-layered spectacles, kind of like the ones like a jeweler would wear. And she's sitting there working at a piece of leather, and she's sitting there detailing it and inscribing patterns into it. There are 2 other little young men running back and forth in the room, carrying supplies and things like that, and moving stuff around. And she looks up from her work, and of course she has these spectacles on, so her eyes look like about the size of half of her face. Kind of looks like that Alita Battle Angel character that's on the advertising everywhere right now here in the States. And she looks up and she goes, "Oh, come right in. And she takes spectacles off, and she's probably in her mid-60s, kind of hunched, and she walks to the counter. How can I help you?
Ma'am, I am looking for some studded leather armor if you have some, and I have some leather armor that I'd like to potentially trade if you'd be interested. Gently used.
So you have armor for trade for better armor. Let's see. She looks as she goes, the armor that you have, is it the one what you're wearing, or do you have it separately?
Unfortunately, it is what I'm wearing. I choose to stay armored most of the time, but if you have a changing room, I'd be happy to change into the new armor if we can make a deal.
Yes, let's see here. She looks up and down, she expresses, looks like it's seen a few scrapes here, there, and yonder. Let's see. She goes, could you turn around slowly, please, so I can get a good look at the armor?
Why, of course.
So as you turn around, you hear a whistle at you. Well, let's see. Not very much to look at, is it? Where'd you find that at?
It was some scraps that I put together. It has gotten me through this far, but I'm clearly in need of newer, nicer equipment, and your wares appear to be very fine indeed.
Well, let's see. And she turns to one of the boys, and she mutters something in a quick set of commands. It's in common, but it's just very quick. And one of the boys runs off in the back, and he goes, he'll be back in just a moment so I can show you what we have to offer, and maybe we can come to an arrangement. Does anyone else have anything they're interested in trading or purchasing that I can have the lads grab for you?
I was also looking at getting some studded leather armor, but I also have some leather to trade, and I pull out from my pack my leather armor as I was in my traveling clothes.
Okay. She reaches over and says, "May I?"
Of course, as you can see, it's moderately well kept. I do wipe it down quite often, but
Yes. She looks
it does show some wear and tear.
She looks at it and she flips it over and she puts her lenses on. She adjusts them, and you notice a couple of the lenses aren't clear; they're like colored, and she actually flips those in and out. Yes, not bad. You do maintain your equipment fairly well. So does your friend, apparently. Well, we can look. I do have multiple sets. You can look at what I have to offer for your friend, and if you like one or the other, we can see. We have plenty available. That's not a problem. We are leather work, after all.
His needs room for his tail. Just want to point that out.
Oh, well, yes. It would, wouldn't it? And he goes, we all have tails, dearie. Some just aren't as furry as his.
Aha.
So, by this time, one of the boys has come back in, and you notice that he's got another one of the boys with him now. And they have brought in a cross-piece mannequin and set 3 of them up. And they hang 3 sets of studded leather armor on it. One is just very functional, very plain studded leather armor.
That is the one I'm most interested in.
I figured as much. The next one it looks like almost the exact same armor as far as the appearance of it, except for you can tell that this one has been detailed and scrolled, and it looks a lot nicer. The presentation is nicer on it. And then the last one is very ornately detailed, worked up, and I mean, some people might think it's overdone with the amount of it. It has the various ship designs and stuff in it that are prevalent throughout the city. She goes, well, what we have here, these are studded leather armor, nothing magical here, nothing magical to worry about. This first one, she points to the very plain one. She says, that one is 50 gold pieces. Straight up purchase, and we'll get to your trade in a moment. There's the one beside it. That is a little bit higher quality, a little bit more detail work, as you can see, has been put into it. That is 68 gold pieces. And the other one, the one on the end, that is 135 gold pieces. Does any of these strike your fancy?
Corum wants to rock, paper, scissors dash to see which of the 2 cheaper armors they choose.
We can do that, but I think she said she had multiple sets.
Yes, I have several of each one of these. That's not a problem.
Okay.
You don't
If
need
you
to
wanna
fight
roll
over it.
1d3
Though if you
anyways.
want to and I get more money out of it, that's fine with me. Which ones are you interested in? Well, let's how about this? Let's talk about your trade-ins. After looking at what you have and
Oh no,
what?
he got scissors.
So after looking at what you have, I'm willing to give you... She kind of scratches her chin a little bit, and she looks at me and goes, I'll give you 10 gold pieces for each one of those sets.
Deal.
Okay? So, rather than changing money back and forth, we can knock 10 gold pieces off of whichever one of these you want. So the first one, she points to the very plain set, says that'll be 40 gold pieces. The next one would be 58 gold pieces. The next one would be 125 gold pieces. So which are you interested in?
Because I like to present myself in a fairly refined fashion as I sing songs of our heroics. Why don't I spend a little extra cash to get this slightly ornate one for 58 gold pieces from you?
Very well. She reaches over and says, stop. Well, you'll need to take that off before we transfer goods. But tell you what, you can put this on. And she goes, oh, wait a minute. She goes, 1 second. Jerry, can you hold your arms out, please, straight out to the side?
Of course.
She listens. She goes, 1 second. And she, from nowhere, she needs to produce this ruler, and she just snaps it out, and it holds itself completely straight, even though it's a piece of string. And she holds it up to you, and she goes, and she goes back and forth a couple places, and she mutters to one of the lads, says, I'll need this size. And she gives a set of dimensions, and the lad runs off in the back, says, now, you, sir, while they're fetching that, what would you want? She points to you, Dash.
I just need something simple to keep my fur on my back, so I'll go with the plain Jane simple one, which still looks like it has fine quality.
Oh, yes, the quality's quite good. It's just a matter of scroll work, and people vary. So can you hold your limbs out, please?
Dash does.
And again, she repeats the same process. This little piece of string just zips out of her pocket and goes straight for a second. She, Just, she mutters to the other little boy, and he disappears in the back. Now, and a few minutes later, they reappear, each one carrying a bundle. And he goes, you, sir, will need to change. And she hands one of the packets over to you, Corum. If you go right to the end there of the counter space, you'll find a door just at the end. And you hadn't noticed this door before, but it was there the whole time. And so if you go right in there, you can change, and if you would just leave your older armor in there, one of the lads will grab it whenever you're done.
It's a pocket dimension to hell.
Gorm sucked in.
And it's to you, to you, Dash. She goes, so she lays the package on the table, and she takes your package and slides it more toward her. That will be 40 gold pieces.
Do you mind if I try it on real quick? I mean, you did take measurements. Just want to see.
Most certainly, you may use the room on the other end then.
Okay.
You point down again. There's a door there that you just didn't really notice before, but it's there.
Pocket dimension to hell.
You say that, but mine actually leads to an ice cream shop. They're getting free ice cream.
So when you come out of the changing room, Rand, the armor fits you perfectly.
Excellent.
Come out of it fits you perfectly.
I am most pleased.
It has a nice little set of pauldrons that come down across your shoulders that your other previous armor didn't have. And it's got a little bit of scroll work and stuff done to it. Kind of a nautical-like theme, but it's not straight up nautical, just kind of waves and patterns like that in it. Or it has been worked into the leather. When you come to counter, she goes, it seems to fit you perfectly. That will be... She sees one of the boys. You see you hear the door shut behind you, and one of the guys runs. That will be 58 gold.
I hand her the 58 gold happily. Very pleased with this purchase.
Excellent. And she takes the money and drops it into a cash box she has tucked away somewhere there on the desk. She comes back and she goes, and she looks at Dash. Ah, yes, it does fit you quite well. I was a little worried. Your frame's a little bit difficult to work with. But it does seem to fit you properly.
I do know that's not the easiest to fit our forms, so I appreciate the fine quality.
Good. That will be 40 gold.
Okay, and Dash hands over 40 gold.
She takes the 40 words from me again. You hear them rattle into her cash boxes. So any other items you might be looking for? Yeah, very well, dearies. I hope you do have a good day here in Gloomtower Stronghold. And remember, we have other leatherwares here as well, so if you decide to come back later and looking for something more advanced, by all means, be my guest. I should be able to help you. We do saddles as well. So from here to the general store, I'm assuming?
Jason, does that about sum it up right there? I just posted the nautical theme and stuff.
Yeah, that works fine. Yep, that works. Just reading it again, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Excellent. Yeah, to the general store, guys.
Yep. So you come back out of the town and you go back up a few doors to the general store. And you come into the general store. And again, like I said, it reminds you of an old-fashioned general store like you would think of in the 1920s, 1930s, in the middle of nowhere. As you come in, unlike the others that were counters, this one has rows and rows and rows of shelves and things like that where you can mill around and look. And there's farming implements and a few handful of mining implements and that sort of thing there. There's a whole rack that displays various sized chains and things like that. The chains themselves are on big, huge spools where you can pull them out, and there's a little sign in each scroll work that says, if we cut to length above the chains. In the very back of the room, there's a counter that runs almost all the way across the room, except for on the far right where there's a set of double doors that leads further back into the building. And here in the river's edge, there's 2 or 3 different people helping behind the counter. And right above the counter on one side, there is another sign, very nice scroll work that says, "We rent wagons and carts here." The whole room has an odor of oiled metal and seeds and dirt. That sort of smell permeates the room.
Okay, Dash would walk straight up to the counter and ask how much it is per foot or per 10 feet of chain.
10 foot of chain. What size, sir? Change my voice, sorry. Oh, still have one.
What sizes of chain do you have?
Well, we have 1-inch link. We have small, big, and bigger link. How's that, sir? And he actually he waves to you and leads you back into the display of the chains are, and he points. This is the smallest size link we have, and it's about an inch and a half link. The next one up is about twice that, and then the really big one's about the size of links are about the size of your fist. So now we can have other manufacturers the pig iron, but this is what we have on stock, sir.
Okay, how much is it for 10 foot of either the big or the small?
10 foot of the big, let's see, that would run you. I gotta go look that up, guys. Looks like that would run you 10 foot would run you 8 gold pieces, sir.
Of the big?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Real quick question out of character. Would either of these affect the DC strength check for it?
Not really. It's just a matter of the way the chain itself is fashioned.
Okay.
One is more meant for, like, the bigger chain is probably meant for using, like, in a mechanism or something like that, or maybe on a ship, whereas the smaller would be more useful for, like, a person to handle or something like that. The quality of all of it's good.
Okay. In that case, I'll look at grabbing the smaller chain actually.
Very well, sir. So 10 foot of that? And
Yep, 10 feet.
there's actually a scaling thing on there. He puts the chain that's there to it, and then he pulls out so much, and pulls out so much, and pulls it until he has it. And then he reaches underneath the counter and he pulls out a set of clippers, metal clippers, and he clips the chain. He kind of smiles, he goes, "You have to keep these out of reach of children. They are magical." He puts them back, and he has no, I mean, it's very easy for him to do all this kind of butter. Puts him back in there and relocks the door, and he rolls in. Anything else besides the chainsaw?
I could also use a good lock to fasten the chain.
Ah, good luck. And, like, if you look 2 rows that way, you'll find a display of locks. Come this way. You follow him around through there. And he comes to a set of naked, various size locks, and he goes, "To go in this chain, correct, sir?"
Yes.
He pulls a lock out. It's a fairly well-made lock, and he has a key attached to it on a loop. He goes, "This should do for you. That's only 2 nobles."
Sorry, too much. How much?
2 nobles. Silver pieces.
Okay. We'll take the chain and the lock unless somebody else needs to look at something.
Does the shop have any instruments in it?
Musical instruments? Give me a investigation check. See what you find. Oh! So you're wandering around the shop, looking while this transaction is going on, and you notice in the corner, not the corner, but in one of the shelves, toward the back, there is a lute laying there. But unlike everything else that is put on racks and places, it's just kind of leaned up against the back counter in the corner. And about the time that as you walk over and look at it, one of the other shopkeepers comes and says, "Ah, that's where I left that." And he picks up the lute and he starts strumming at it.
And he looks up at you and goes, "Well, can I help you, miss?"
Yes, I was wondering if you had a viola at all?
Oh, no, we don't carry those. Oh, dear, who would? And he literally turns around, he screams across the room. And him and the other 2 shopkeepers have a conversation, screaming back and forth between each other in this rapid-fire dialect. And then he looks back and goes, "Oh, we don't carry that, but..." You might talk... And he gets back and says, "You might talk to one of the importers. Balagan, I think is his name." And then one of the other guys there says, No, it's Finnegan. He needs to talk to Finnegan." Oh, Finnegan. His shop is, the other side of the market. Actually, well, the easiest way to find it is to go to the Sanctum of Knowledge. You know where that's at?
No?
Okay. Let's see here. If you go out the door here, hang a left, go down to the first street past this next, then you'll pass an alley, and then you'll come to the next major thoroughfare that leads out to the cliff gate. If you follow that road down, you will find a small round building. At that round building, next to it, you will find a little shop, and that is Finnegan's shop. He may have what you're looking for, but there's no guarantee, or he might be able to find it for you.
Thank you anyway.
Very well. And
don't forget to deduct your coin there for your transaction there, Dash. Where to now, gentlemen and ladies?
Actually, real quick, I'm gonna check and see if they have any flasks of oil here.
Ah, flasks of oil. Let's see.
So as he finishes up with the one guy, he says, so you're looking for a flask of oil? How many do you need?
Just a single one would be fine.
If it helps you, Nalia, I do have 2 flasks of oil. If you don't want to purchase your own, I can give you one.
So he leads you and goes, we have plenty in stock. They're just a noble. They're just a noble apiece.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can purchase my own.
Very well. Very well. How many? Just need one.
I'll take 2 flasks.
He goes through over to the ones on the shelves and he pulls down 2 flasks, takes it back to us. That'll be 2 nobles, which is 2 silver pieces.
Anyone else need anything out of the general store?
Nothing out of the store, but as a general question, as we're bouncing around from shop to shop, Grunt's kind of keeping an eye out to see if there's any city watch or guards or anything over there he wants to kind of chum up with and ask some questions.
Actually, there's quite a few city guards that you spot mingling and going throughout it, so it'd be real easy for you to walk over and start speaking to one.
Okay. Now, if we want to role play this, that's fine. If you just want to do this off,
Yep.
We summarize whatever.
We can definitely role play it. So as you approach the guards, I'm assuming you probably walked out on the porch while they were making their purchases. A pair of the tally come by. They're easy to spot, and they're bright yellow tabards with red stripes. There are a pair of orcs that come down through there, and you flag them down. And
how may we help you?
Just a little information. I've been reading the stories about the trolls in the town crier here. Wonder if you guys had any kind of experience with those or anything.
Killed plenty of trolls.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I've killed plenty of trolls.
I'm just looking for information, like anything I should look out for in case I run into one of these things, or what's any pointers? Help out a fellow mercenary. I used to be part of the watch over in Beach Castle, for a little bit. So.
Oh, look here, he's a bit up here, George. Well, trolls. Let's see. They're big, pretty quick, and they can grow back their limbs.
Grow back their limbs?
Yeah, chop it off. Chop it off. They'll grow back.
I'm assuming it's something Grun wasn't not aware of, so he's going to be kind of surprised at that response. And says, "Oh, I was not aware of that."
It takes some time, but you chop it off, it will grow back.
So is there anything you can do to kind of prevent that from happening?
Well, you can't, you could burn it. The whole troll. They don't like fire.
They don't like fire. Okay. That's,
Yeah, so they really don't like fire.
So if they can grow back their limbs, so let's just say if by chance I was to meet one on a trail somewhere and I struck it down, would it Would this power to regenerate its limbs help it come back to life too?
Well, not if you kill it all the way. I mean, kill it good, chop its head off, cut it in little pieces. It won't come back that way. But if you don't keep an eye on it when you knock it down, knock it down, they'll pop right back up.
Okay, so we gotta chop it into pieces or burn it, is what I'm hearing. Right?
Yep. Don't like fire.
Sweet.
Definitely don't like fire.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate it, boys. And he'll kind of give him like a fist bump or a hoof bump with his hoof. Keep up the good work, boys.
Careful now.
Does anyone have any torches in little tinder boxes and such?
Yeah, I've got a tinderbox.
Me too. I think they come in most packs. But
Yeah,
just making sure.
almost all the packs have like 10 torches or 10 candles in it.
Yeah, so don't worry, Grun will be asking that question after having this conversation.
Just before the guards leave, can Bertram just ask a quick thing?
Sure.
She just wants to ask them, is there any reward for killing trolls that are nearby the city?
The one looks at you first.
Let me use my voice. The one looks at you first, and then kind of he looks at you, and then he kind of looks up to you because you're significantly taller than even him, even though he's a full-grown orc.
Well, yes. Bring the head to the keep, and there would be a reward. Especially if it's the one that's on the cliff road right now. Yes, my friend's quite right. The ones on the cliff road. Be nice if we could get rid of them. They've been harassing travelers for a week.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
You're welcome. You might want to consider applying to be part of the tally. Yeah, we could use you.
Maybe not.
Think about it. If you did, let them know George and Bill sent you.
Will do.
Jason, I'm not sure that anyone caught that.
Good. And they kind of continue on down their way.
All right, so I'm assuming Grun was with Bircher when she asked that question, got that information as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Okay. So Grun will share with everybody what the guards told him, the fact that, cut them into pieces and burn them, otherwise they'll grow their limbs back. And he'll leave it up to Bircher whether she wants to share the news of extra cash if we can bring back some more heads.
She'll share it. Just so people know not to destroy the heads completely.
Okay. But from what Mac told us, it was a couple of trolls, right? That's what he told us? Or did he give us a number?
He didn't give you a number. He said he wanted one back. But based on the article in the paper that you've read, people are saying there's 3, maybe 2. But the eyewitness accounts vary back and forth, but it always appears to be there's more than 1, but not more than 3 or 4.
Okay. All right, so after Grun would have shared the news about what the guard said, the next thing out of his mouth would have been, does anybody here have, the magic of fire?
Yep.
Sweet. You stand next to me.
I will do.
Nothing will touch you, I promise. All right, so where are we going to next? This Finnegan's place? Is that what I heard you guys asking about?
Yeah, I'd like to go there, but I'd also like to see if there's maybe that high-end clothes store or possibly a curio shop on the way. Only if it's on the way.
Okay.
I think Finnegan's was a curio shop, wasn't it?
Yes, among other things, he had all kinds of curios and stuff in there too. It depends what kind of curio you want. His is more on the curious and the morbid side. things floating in bottles of colored
Yeah,
waters.
Yeah, but Bertram's speaking of maybe parting out the trolls.
Well, that would have definitely been Finnegan's, or not Finnegan's.
Finwards.
Yeah, thank you. Not on my screen. Findlewards. As you go down through there, there's a number of different shops that are selling fineries and fine clothes and things like that you can go into. So you can just grab one and go in.
She just goes into sort of like the first one she sees and sort of like asks prices on stuff.
Most of the stuff that they convey to you needs to be, have to be fitted to you and tailored to you to be properly fitted for you. But the prices they quote, so even for the more the expensive stuff, is only like 2-3 silver pieces. Now, some of the more like a coat or like an entire outfit might cost a gold orb. Not hugely expensive, but they're still, much finer, heavier quality clothing.
Would it cost a bit more extra on top of that, since of my size? Like, I know I have to pay more for armor.
Yeah, a little bit more, but not hugely more. It might be a gold and a couple silver or something like that.
Okay, she'll buy sort of like one of the finest outfits she can find, sort of like black, sort of like get measured for it like a dress or something.
Okay, so they take her sizes and all that, and they say, you can pay us whenever you pick the item up. We do take a small portion up front, so let's say 3 silver nobles.
And what will the final cost be?
Oh, the final cost will be 1 gold piece plus the 3 silver nobles that you deliver here.
She'll just pay all up.
All right, very well, lady. Do you want us to deliver this somewhere, or will you come back and pick it up yourself?
I'll pick it up myself. I'm here for a week. I can find the time.
Okay. It should be ready in about 3 days.
Excellent.
Very well.
She goes back. She'll go back to the rest and say, right, on to Finnick.
So, Filligan's, when you come around the corner, come up on it, and it's a little bit further out there. And see, let me ping it here. You see the little round. There's actually a tower there that's part of the guards system, but right beside the guards tower. And the guy would probably be easier to say, it's next door to the guards tower, but he didn't go that way. Filligan's is a procurement shop. When you come in, the shop itself has a door, and it has on the door it has red stripes, violet stripes, blue stripes, green stripes, yellow stripes, not yellow, green stripes on it. So it's red, violet, blue, and green striping on the door when you come in. When you enter, there's a gentleman there. Not sure what his race is. Either elf or human, but it's hard to tell, or it could be a half elf, and you can't tell because he has a really huge floppy hat on his head, and he's in very richly done clothing. When you walk in, he kind of turns and says, "So what can I do for you?"
Well, a couple of things. I was wondering if you had a viola at all.
A viola? As in the musical instrument?
Yes.
Do you play?
Yes.
Excellent. Let me check our ledgers. We are an importer and exporter, among other things. So let me check our ledgers. And he turns and he goes back to the back, not the back, but right there behind. He starts flipping through this huge ledger book and going through it and looking up and down at it, looking back and forth. And he goes, I swore they shipped one. Here it is. Oh. I'm sorry, we did have a viola yesterday. However, it was sold. But I do see a notation beside this that the artisan that made it is local. I could have one made for you.
The cost of that would be?
He looks over his ledger book and he goes, well, depending on quality, two platinum
Shit.
to 20 gold, depending on the quality of what you want.
I'd probably go for the 20 gold one.
Ah, very well. So you're not looking for an extremely ornate one, just a more...
Just something to play. I'd just like to play.
A traveling one, if you will.
Yes.
Yes. He could manufacture that for 20 gold, but it will take him... Looks back at his ledgering and he goes, I've actually dealt with this gentleman firsthand. His work is quite gorgeous, even for his plain pieces. But it will take him the better part of 2 weeks to manufacture.
It's probably best he gets started right away then. I'll take it.
Very well. We will only ask for half up front, dude, and the rest upon delivery. Is that fair?
That's more than fair, but I'll just pay it all up front.
Very well. He pulls out a ledger sheet and starts writing down the orders. He goes, would you like it sized to fit your proportions?
I'm more used to using the smaller one, actually.
Very well. So he writes down what all he's looking for, or what all you need, and the dimensions on this. So I will get this off to him, and where can I reach you at?
Where are we staying again?
The sword chest plate is where you're currently staying.
The sword chest plate, then.
Looks back at you and he goes, and then his eyes immediately go to your ring. Ah! He reaches in, he pulls 2 gold pieces out, and he hands them back to you. He goes, it'll only be 18 gold pieces.
I like working for these people already.
So, I will... as soon as the DM finishes choking, I will have that delivered as soon as it's prepared, and of course your name, you've given it to him obviously already on the order form, so... Where to now, ladies and gentlemen?
Now Grun's pissed off.
Was Grun mad?
Just realized that she got a freaking discount for having a freaking ring. It's like that cheap or that no good freaking, where was I at? Findle Ward? Is that where I was?
Yeah.
That expensive? Oh,
Yeah.
He's pissed off.
Would you like to go back there and try again? Mention that we're part of the retrieval service?
I don't know. I have a good mind to go in there and just take what I want.
Well, that may not work out for us.
I know. Alright, so what else we need here, guys? My pride's not gonna let me go back to whatever fiddlesticks.
I think we're good. Let's go hunt some trolls.
So we got Nalia here can fry them, right? Nobody else has any kind of that kind of magic, right?
Well, I know Empty is a little ill this morning, but I thought she had some sort of flame as well.
So out of character, is she like totally out of this thing? Is she gonna be like an NPC in the background? How are we doing that, Jason?
Lightning right now, I'll just run her in the background as an NPC.
Okay. So can you share if she has that kind of
Yes, one second. I
capability?
was actually pulling her sheet up.
Okay.
Roll 20 cooperates here, guys.
And here I thought we were just going to pretend she slept in while we all went shopping.
Well, and she very well might have, but I mean, once you go out to actually do your adventure, she would tag along. Let's see. Yeah, she has Sacred Flame, and she actually has that prepared. So that would not be a flame would not be an issue.
Okay.
And that's actually a cantrip for her, so I'm looking through other spells real quick. I'm seeing Bless, Don't Detect Evil, much of the tech stuff, healing stuff, Guiding Bolt. I believe that actually might be a fire strike as well. Look and see. Nope, it's Divine Energy. But she does have flame. She does have Sacred Flame, so she could cause fire damage as well.
Okay. All right. So Grun will take a few
Sacred
minutes.
Flame was radiant.
It is. Well, I'll count it toward a troll, though. At least at this level.
So before we head out, Grun will take a few minutes, based on his very limited, I guess, experience back working for the local watch back at Beach Castle. Okay, we need to come up with a plan as to how we want to do this. So we're just not going in guns blazing, or sort of say magic blazing. So how do we want to approach this, assuming we can find them?
Are you doing this in the middle of the street, or you like go back to the sword chest plate, or?
Well, I'll start bringing it up in the middle of the street unless someone like tells me to stop talking.
That's fine. I'm just curious.
So how are we doing this, guys? Obviously, we need these magic users to use their fire as much as possible. So I've already said it. Nolly's going to stay next to my side. Nothing gets between me and the troll and her. I suggest someone do the same thing with lightning.
I can do that.
Sounds good. So, there again, are we going to taunt these things into coming at us? That way we stay together as a group? Do we want someone to kind of sneak out ahead and scout it out first? How do you guys want to handle this?
Well, I've got this.
And she holds out a sort of like big trap just so she can maybe trap one of them, sort of like keep one out of the fight for a little bit.
Sweet. I like the way you're thinking, big girl.
And I did
Anybody
pick up
else?
the chain. I did pick up the chain and lock, so once we do have one down, we can kind of secure it.
Sweet. I always love a plan, especially when it works. Okay, anybody else got any ideas or suggestions on what we need to do here?
We can douse the ground in oil and then light it on fire if the troll runs at us.
Damn, that's good. You guys are wicked. We could like combine that with like the trap. Oh yeah, I like this. Can I have some? Well, hold on a minute, Bertra. That what they say about the heads? Is it okay if they're burnt?
I think it was all the limbs sort of like need to be burnt.
No, I meant what the orc said, but there being more money if we bring back a troll head.
I think as long as it's identifiably a troll, it should be okay to get the extra money.
And I imagine we'd have to burn them a little to keep them from regenerating. I don't know how strong their regeneration really is, but from what they were saying, they can regrow limbs. I'd hate to have a head start sprouting a body.
Yeah. I'm just going with what the guards told me. They told me you chop them up in pieces, and they won't be able to grow back. That's what I heard. Is that correct, Jason?
That's what you heard.
Okay. So I do not know otherwise. All right, so we have it then. We're going to try to find them, try to set up a trap, see if we can get one of them to walk into the trap, and we'll put the oil around it. It comes in there, we'll catch one and hopefully burn a few more. And then we'll taunt the rest of them into attacking us, and we all attack as one. Anyone have a disagreement with this plan?
It might be best for
All
Quorum
for
and I to scout a little ahead just to see if we can try to track something down and guide us the right way.
Yep, I have no problem with that. I'm going to need you to scout ahead so we can figure out if and where we place the trap anyway. That could be part of the taunting process, taunting them to come right across the trap. Okay, we all in agreement? I'll take that as a resounding yes. Let's go hunt some trolls.
Yes.
Okay, so I take it you're walking.
We didn't get a cart. A cart.
That's why I take it you're walking. So as
everybody on Bertra?
Did she get her fine dress yet, or will that be after she's carried the bloody troll back?
In 3 days. It was 3 days, wasn't it? For that
Correct.
to be made?
Correct.
So you should probably try to get this done within the next 3 days for a trip.
Oh dear. So as you walk out of the city there, and you've been right here around this tower as you're making your session, probably had in this little square area here. As you come down through there, you pass by the Tower of Lore, which is another one of the schools in the area, and you know that you were told that the trolls were along the cliff road. You depart through the cliff gate, go through the outer river, and as you're passing across the bridge, the outer river, you can see the waterfall and the pools that it goes over and falls over, and you can see the ocean off in the distance there, the White Sea. And you depart out of the city through this road here, which is called the Cliff Road. And it's called that because quite literally it falls along the top edge of the cliff. So maybe anywhere from 2 to 25 foot away from the road at various places as the cliff runs. You're literally walking along the top of the cliff for quite some time. Now the land eventually does drop down, and it's called the Cliff Road as it comes into the city. As you're traveling along the Cliff Road, how are you traveling? Describe to me how you're walking. Are you just like in a group clumped up? What's going on there?
Well, so I know we're supposed to bring the troll back to the cliff gate, which is in the...
Cut off there, Rand. What'd you say? Can you guys hear me? Okay, 1 sec. One, two, what?
Near the south.
I can hear you. I can hear you now, Rand.
Hear me?
Yeah.
He's out.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, not quite sure what happened there. Okay, so bring back the troll alive. Cliffgate. You're going to send a runner to the. Okay, that's what you guys are discussing. What you're doing. How are you walking along the cliff road? That's what I'm asking.
I think what Rand was asking was valid. We're trying to figure out where was the reports of where the trolls were being seen.
Well, the reports are they were being seen along the cliff road, but it's a good. The reports weren't very clear, but based on what Mac told you, it's probably a good half a day's to a day's walk outside of the city.
Okay.
Otherwise, the tally would have been sent out to take care of it. They're far enough away that the tally can't see them or deal with them, so they're out of the jurisdiction of the city is the problem.
Okay. I mean, do we have any more general knowledge? I mean, like, would it have been better for us to go through the south gate versus the cliff gate, or does it? I mean, you see what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
Is it more southwest? Is it more south? Is it more southeast? Where was the troll reports at?
The cliff gate actually would have been the best approach for you. Going out one of the other roads, you would have had to gone miles and miles out of the way to loop back around to come around from the other direction.
Gotcha. All right, to the cliff gate. Let's start our journey.
But to Jason's point, I'm assuming the two sneaky sneaks are going to be somewhat out in front of us and then double back and kind of give us updates when we get close to about the half a mile mark, if that's what we heard about the reports, how far out they were.
Yeah. that sounds about right.
Quorum is going to fail miserably at tracking, but maybe Dash is going to do better.
I would imagine. Maybe.
So just as we kind of go, Jason, we're gonna try to stay a little bit ahead of the group, not too far. I'm talking like 12 seconds, 60 feet ahead of the group.
Okay.
But tracking, looking for signs of troll passing, little troll droppings, things like that.
Okay. You're about probably a half mile outside the city. The sun's starting to get kind of low on the horizon. Not low enough to worry about camping or anything, but starting to drop a little bit. And the two of you, as you're ahead of the group scouting, spot a wagon sitting beside the road. And the wagon is turned upside down.
Now, should we alert the others, you think, Dash?
Well, yeah, we should give them a heads up that we're at least seeing something. If you want to signal back, I guess I could try to sneak up a little, or at least wait for you to let them know.
Yeah, sounds good. So Quorum's going to kind of double back onto the party, let them know there's an overturned wagon, and we're going to try to catch up to Dash. And now I assume it goes to Dash.
Yep. Okay. Let me drag Dash into the channel so I can tell him exactly what he sees up here. Give me a perception check real quick, Dash.
Okay.
All right. You there, Dash?
Yeah, I rolled a 14. Does that not show up?
Yeah, I saw you roll. I just make sure that you were in the channel with me. Okay, so here's what you see. The wagon ahead is overturned. Okay, and even though the light is starting to drop down, you can see there's a shallow trench with what looks like water in it around two sides of the wagon, and you can also see. It looks like there are holes in the side of the wagon. Any other questions or clarities you need before I drop it back in the channel to describe that to the others?
Oh, I didn't realize you had pulled us into a separate thing. Do I see any chance I see any kind of tracks or larger footprints? Anything that could be?
You have noticed, and you probably have mentioned this to Quorum already. Every now and then, you can swear you think that might be goblin tracks in amongst the road, but the road is so rutted and overrun, it's hard to tell.
Are these bigger goblin tracks or just like straight up normal goblin
Normal
tracks?
gobs.
Okay.
Okay. I'll drop you back in channel.
Okay.
And we're back. So as you catch up to Dash, I'll let you explain to him, or let him explain to you what he's seeing.
So, Corum, what I'm seeing over there is near the wagon. It looks like there's almost a shallow trench underneath. There's some water on both sides. Looks like there's some holes in the actual wagon itself. I don't know if you've noticed, but it seems like there's actually some goblin tracks that we've been seeing. I'm not 100% sure on them, but it looks like actual goblins.
Do you think they're holed up in that overturned cart with some sniper holes in the make of it, or is that what it looks like to you?
Well, but the size of the wagon, I mean, there could be something in there. I don't know how many would be in there. I would assume there's something. I don't know why there'd just be holes in it.
So, Jason, like, what's our landscape around here? Is it wide open in any direction, like no cover for us as we approach this wagon?
Yeah, it's pretty flat here where you're at. The road has moved considerably away from the cliffs now. The cliffs are probably a good quarter mile to half a mile off in the distance. And there's some trees here, there, and yonder, but pretty much this road runs through a flat-like area.
Ambush City.
In fact, here, let me bring up the map for you guys. Bring you over to the map we're on.
Yeah, this feels like a trap.
Does this remind me of sort of traps by former ogre clan might have set?
No, doesn't remind you of anything like the ogres might have done. But then again, they probably couldn't have fit under a wagon to attack you from it.
This is far more intelligent, too. That was supposed to be a joke.
You guys should be seeing the map now.
Just don't let Bertra hear you say that.
So was that conversation just between Quorum and Dash, or did the rest of us hear that?
You probably all heard it by now because Quorum came back and warned you guys, and you guys got to kind of caught up to Dash where he was at.
Yeah,
Okay.
Quorum was with you guys when Dash said that to Quorum.
All right, so the wagon is turned upside down, is what I heard Dash tell us. And would I inherently know that a troll could fit underneath that wagon, or
Well,
I
you can
wouldn't know that knowledge?
probably. Well, you wouldn't know for sure, but based on what the guard said, they said the trolls were pretty big. So, I mean, one might fit under there. I mean, you should be able to see the wagon by now. So,
Yeah. Yeah, but the goblin tracks just kind of throwing me off a little bit. I'm still thinking troll the whole way. But goblin tracks, it has me a little worried.
It doesn't look like Bertrand would have a good time fitting under there. Let's approach with caution.
The other thing we could do, I don't know if I could try to scout over to the trees and see if I see any tracks and kind of move around to the side. But it does put me out on one side.
It's up to you guys. Maybe if we're going to kind of split up that way, a couple people should go.
I'm still scratching my head over the freaking water. It's almost like a moat around the damn thing.
It's probably just to limit what can come at it, and if they don't like fire, they probably want some water right around they can just dive into.
Now, was Dash able to see if it's just like, standing water, like puddles, or is it like an actual trench deep like a moat there?
he couldn't tell for sure, but it looked more along the lines of like a trench with water in it.
I don't like this. Don't like this at all. Something's going to come out of there. Just don't know what.
Speaking of coming out of there, is there any kind of access point to get under there that we can see?
I'm sorry, what?
Is there any kind of access point for us to or that we can see like a door or something or a window that something could come in or out of to get underneath that wagon?
From where you're out on the road, no. Would be the answer no.
Okay.
If you guys want, we could just light the wagon on fire.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that.
Unless it's like some merchants like hiding from some bandits in the area or some goblins or trolls.
Yeah, that would be very bad. But we saw goblin tracks, not human tracks. Right, Dash?
Well, keep in mind the goblin tracks. I don't know if they're really with this. It's not right around here. It's just what I've been noticing as we've been moving closer. I've seen a little bit of goblin tracks, just not 100% something I could say for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but you saw no other tracks around the actual wagon itself?
Corum, the most recent wagon tracks that you can see look to be a couple of days old at best, but it's hard to tell on the road because it's pretty rutted.
Well, Grun's going to shrug like the rest of the party. Well, we either go in with bad intentions or we set it on fire now and then go in.
How do you know they're not friendly goblins?
Kind of tilt his head a little bit towards Bertra. Now, out of character, I mean, there are no friendly goblins, right, in this world, Jason?
Oh, there could be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there could be.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, quit being racist,
uncommon?
Brian. Jeez.
I know.
Well, he is a minotaur. Come on.
So is it uncommon? Is it common? Which of those two
Well,
is it, Jason?
It depends on the area you're in. I mean, almost all the races, there's good, there's bad in all the races. Less likely to probably find good in goblins. They're usually very mischievous, even when they're being good. So chances are they're probably bad. In this particular area you're in, there's not many groups of goblins known for being kind and polite and good. So,
All right. Okay, so Grunt is contemplating yelling something. Do you want me to roll something to keep me from doing that, or what do you want me to do here, Jason?
go right ahead.
Yeah, let our presence be known, and we'll see what they're up to now.
Yeah, so Grunt's just gonna shrug at you guys as all this hemming and hawing. Yep.
Grunt, before you go calling out, just so we don't lose the element of surprise, I personally would still like to at least have one of us at least back off a little and hide, just in case something goes south. We have a little bit of a advantage of some kind.
All right. I'm fine with that.
You think it head south, Dash?
Yeah, I said we just sneak over to these trees and get a different angle on it.
Grunt will say, "Okay, you start like trying to count. You got 45 seconds.
Wait till we're
and then I'm shouting. Nalia, be ready."
Okay.
Gran, do you know how to speak Goblin?
I barely speak common.
So, Corn and Dash, from your angle now, you can see there is some kind of door on this side that leads into it.
Excellent.
But there's also more of the other holes.
Can we see anything inside? I mean, can we see anything inside the actual holes, or is it just too
It's
dark?
too dark. Even for your dark vision, there's no light coming from behind anything if there's anything in there to reveal them. You know what I'm saying?
Quorum's going to wait for Grunt to announce their presence and see kind of what happens. Can we try to be a little bit sneaky over here? Should we give you a roll?
Yeah, give me a stealth check if you guys want to try hiding there.
So since Bertra asked me that, I'll ask her the same thing. So Bertra, can you speak Goblin?
Yeah?
You can?
Yeah?
Well, you're just full of surprises. All right, so on the count of 3, I want you to yell at these little sumbitches. Says, "Come out now, or we're going to set you on fire."
Do we have to say we're going to set them on fire?
You just want to do it? I'm okay with that too.
No. It just seems a bit threatening, that's all.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. What do you propose, Bertra?
Well, just ask if anyone's there first, and if they'd like to talk.
Okay. Oh, Bertra, you're so simple. Okay, Nalia, behind me. Bertra, if you want to take the nice route, that's fine, but if I see any signs of danger, Nalia, we're going to light these sumbitches up.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. I'll try and be a bit firm as well.
Lightning just kind of moves into the brushwork out of the way.
All right, Bertra.
Hello? Is anyone there? We're friendly. If you would like to come out, but if you want to hurt us, we'll protect ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
And she says that and go.
So, as you say that, Bertra, you find yourself peppered with about a half a dozen arrows, and a couple of them hit you. and firmly stick in your side. Roll initiative.
Yeah. It's like, damn it, Bertram! All right, they're not nice.
It was worth a try.
I'm all flustered. Oh, God damn it, I'm not ready.
I'm getting on the right layer so I can get initiative for these guys in.
So obviously didn't understand what Bertram said. So I'm going to be a little flabbergasted. What the hell did you just say?
I just asked if they were there.
Damn, Lightning just rolled a 22 for initiative.
Damn. Well, you got your answer, Bertram.
They're not as nice as the other goblins I've met.
Lightning cannot hear if she's going to hold her action, have the spell ready if she needs it. And that brings us around to Corum. Corum, you see a barrage of arrows fly out of this wagon and hit Bertra.
Oh, without hesitation, Corum is going to cast a sleep spell centered on that damn wagon.
Yeah, that token's really not there, guys. That's just what I'm using for my token action.
So 27 hit points of creatures inside go to sleep.
Okay.
Thank God you got a normal spell effect.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It would be great to have a boosted one for this one.
So you hear a bunch of chittering and noises, and you hear some rummaging going on there, but otherwise than that, you can't tell anything because they're inside of a wagon. Obviously, you can't see anything. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way towards the wagon.
All right.
And hopefully the spell worked, and we'll see kind of what happens. Now that door, is it possible for me to like cross that stream into the opening?
So it's possible to cross the stream. You don't know how deep that stream is. It's kind of dirty, ucky, nasty, brownish, greenish, sloppy water, so you're not sure how deep it is. But providing it's not too deep, yes.
With like an acrobatics check or an athletics check, I could potentially leap that stream.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's it.
That's it? Okay. Nadia, what are you up to?
Alrighty. First thing I'm gonna do is cast Produce Flame and get some flame in my hand.
Alrighty.
However, I don't actually think I'm close enough to the wagon to actually have it in range.
I believe your range is probably 90 feet, 60 feet, something like that.
It says 30 feet, so if I'm within 30 feet, I should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the map's to scale, so.
Oh, fantastic. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it then, at the wagon.
Alright.
That's a completely wooden wagon. It's not like a covered wagon with like a cloth or a tarp on it, right?
Yeah, it's completely wooden. The wagon itself is actually turned upside down, so it's laying upside down with its wheels sticking up in the air.
Right, I'm with you.
Go ahead and give me the throw on that now. Oh, there it is.
I would hardly call 2 fire damage normal.
So you hurl your mote of fire, your little ball of flame, toward it, and it catches one of the wagon wheels and kind of passes harmlessly past. Anything else?
Nope, I'm gonna stay behind Grun.
All right. That brings us to Bertra, who
Right.
suddenly got arrows sprouting out of her side.
She's gonna start heading towards them. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then probably dash up to somewhere about here-ish.
Okay.
And that's
If you're dashing, you can move a whole nother 6. Just FYI.
Yeah, but I don't want to dash into the car, so I think I'll wait until the next turn.
All right.
Or you just shoulder slam into it and obliterate it.
So Berkshire gets in closer to it. And that brings it to Dash.
At this point, honestly, Dash is just going to ready an action if anything comes out this door, or if I can see anything poke a head out of the hole. I'm gonna take a shot with my bow.
All right.
That's
Run.
about it.
Alright, so I'm going to turn back to Nalia and say stay with me. Since she didn't use her movement, can she still do that as
Yeah,
a reactionary thing?
I'll let her
to
shout
stay
you
behind?
since she didn't move. Yeah, I'll allow
Alright,
that.
so I'm going to bonus action rage, and then I'm going to keep her next to the cart. And if I don't see any kind of bad guys, I'm going to start hacking away at this freaking cart.
All right. Now you can go ahead and move down to wherever you would stop at if you follow him, and go ahead and hack away because you can't see anything inside it. You can hear them, but you can't see them.
Okay. I'm just going to click that token, I guess, as my target, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's actually why I threw it out there for target for you guys.
Okay.
Nice.
And the whole time I'm screaming, come out! Come out or die!
So you take your battle axe and slash into it and make a big furrow, and some of the wood breaks and splinters. The cart's pretty. It's an actual wagon, so it's strongly made, and it was probably a merchant's wagon. So it's in fairly good shape, despite what has been done to it. The gaps that are in here are little tiny gaps, like big enough for a bow to fit through, or maybe a spear, stuff like that. That brings it around to the wagon's attack, and Run, you're probably the closest to it, and was one done the most damage. So a spear comes lancing out of one of the holes, and you nimbly step aside, because I know that 11 doesn't hit you. You nimbly step aside as it comes out of the hole, and just as you think you're safe, another spear comes. Oh, and it misses too. Comes out of the hole, and you weave to the right just a little bit, and it misses you too.
Cowardly bastards! Come out!
Lightning again has still got a healing action ready should anybody need it. Actually, it does. So, hold on a second.
Jason, you want me to throw up a healing word from my screen?
No, I've got it here. I just hit a clear token. She reaches out and begin to actually do a healing word, but it fizzles in her hand. She's back there cussing. Again, the dice are not in the favor of lightning in the sky. That brings around the Quorum.
So did Quorum hear the spears coming out of Grun? He still hears noises in there?
You still hear noises in there, and you can probably, because Bercher and Grun are pretty tall, so you can probably see, all of a sudden Grun charge in and start weaving back and forth.
Quorum uses another sleep spell, but
Yeah. So you reach out and you just feel the magic just fail. You guys see the aura from like before when he cast it, this aura flowing out to the wagon, and it just kind of gets like halfway there and just kind of dissipates. Anything else there, Quorum?
He's gonna kind of wait there for now. He's feeling a little bit disappointed, but he's gonna wait for the next step.
These spell effects suck, don't they? Brings us around to Nalia. He's busy. He's busily watching a minotaur dance around with spears get stuck at it.
Yeah. I'm actually going to step to the side a little bit. And I'm gonna toss one of my flasks of oil right at the wagon.
All right. You can just give me a d20. Or give me a dex check. A dex check actually would be more appropriate.
Okay. Oh, no.
So you rear back and get ready to throw this flask oil, and you throw it, and it's got a little oil on the outside of the bottle, and it lands and it shatters right at your feet.
Oh no.
Anything else from Nalia?
Yeah, I'm gonna step back again.
Gee, I wonder why.
Just over here.
So just out of character, was that a move action that she did to throw the thing, or would that count as her action?
I'm gonna count that. It's fine. She got enough movement to do both. So.
Okay, no, I was just curious, like if that was just part of her move, and she still had an action left or not.
I counted it as an attack action.
Okay.
Because she was trying to throw the. I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to throw the bottle of oil so someone could set it on fire.
I don't want to nitpick, but she did a dexterity saving throw, not a dex check.
Yeah.
Well, it makes a difference in her.
Let's see what her actual roll was. Her roll was 2, so it wouldn't have mattered. Okay. Let's see. Now he's done. That's Bertra.
Alright, Butcher's gonna move one that way, and she's gonna try something a bit crazy. She's gonna try and flip the cart into the water.
Okay.
It's like,
Nice.
Give me a strength check. Just hit the actual strength button on your sheet. So, Bertra reaches down, shoves her hands in her, and you see go, oof, and it won't move, Bertra. No matter how hard you pull, this thing won't move.
I think that's it.
Dash, what about you? You saw Bertra try to flip this.
Seeing what, well, I guess I couldn't see what Nalia tried. Honestly, knowing that's wood and that there might be something under it, I will... Actually, no, I'm just going to see if I can put an arrow through one of those holes to see if I hit anything.
Alright.
Man.
So, you fire your arrow and it slams into one of the spokes of the wheel. The wheel's kind of moving a little bit because Bertra, just trying to lift it, and it's part of the wheel moving around just a little bit. And you see your arrow fly into the wheel, and then you see the wheel deflect it just enough to where it doesn't hit where you want. It just kind of rattles and clatters against the side of the wagon. Anything else?
Can I take my move action just to try to stay hidden?
Sure. Ooh, nice. Grun.
I feel inspired by seeing Bertra fail. So I'm going to do the same thing. After I dodge these spears coming out, I'm going to reach down and do the same thing, see if I can pick it up.
Alright.
Flip it over, or at least pick it up where people can see inside of it.
Give me a strength check.
And I should get advantage of this because I'm raging, right?
Yep.
Advantage. Strength check. Or athletics. Which would it be? Athletics or strength?
I'll let you do either one. So if you got a bonus to athletics, you can roll again. We'll take the higher.
Well, just add two to that then.
Okay.
Get 2 more if it was athletics.
Okay, so that'd be 24. So you reach down and you give it, you lift and you pull and you start to raise it up, but you realize it's too heavy for you by yourself. You're going to need help.
Bertra! Grab it!
And just as you're saying that, you see another one of those spears come lashing out at you. Ooh!
Oh, that is my AC.
Yep, that is. And because you're tied up with the wagon, you get stabbed for 5 nasty points. There we go. Let me fix that because I accidentally switched it to 5 total hit points. And then,
Oh, you're doing it.
yeah,
What was going on? I was going to do it. I was like, let's change. What's going on?
yeah. And then, right near where Bertra is standing, a little tube sticks out. And you hear what sounds like a bellows. And a spray of oil comes out and splatters all over you, Bertra. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
This is not good.
Oh! That spray of oil sprays right across your arm, and you just feel it scald where it hits. Lucky it doesn't do much damage. And that brings us around to Lightning in the Sky, who again tries to do a healing word on Bertra because she sees Bertra is hurting.
Yeah.
So
My damage should have been half, Jason.
half. Okay, I'll fix that. Or actually, just add back in. It was what was it?
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, just add it right. Let's see. Ooh, and Bertra, what is your max hit points?
14.
Well, you're back to 14 because her spell just went up a power level and doubled. But she rolled 6, so it would have been 12.
Excellent.
So you feel this rush of pain and then the cold iciness of the healing as it takes effect from Lightning in the Sky in the background. That brings us back around to Corum.
All right, Corum's feeling a little bit ballsy. Hopefully this isn't the end of Corum.
Okay.
He is going to move, jump, draw his rapier while doing that, and then see what happens when he lands and who's the first person to.
Okay. So where are you jumping to?
He's going to jump into that door that he saw.
Okay.
It's open, right? It's just
No,
like
it's not open. It's closed.
Oh, mother. Well, that changes his plan a little bit.
Okay. So you want to roll that back there since now you know the door's closed?
Yeah, I thought we saw like an open.
No. There's a door. There's openings on either side of it, like arrow slits or spear slits of some kind. But there's a door there. It doesn't look very strong. I mean, probably a couple good hits, you might be able to knock it in.
Well, one good hit and I fall back into the water.
Well, that's true too.
Shoot, can he from this vantage point make out anything through those arrow slits, similar to Dash?
Give me a perception check. As close as you are now, give me a perception check. You can see movement in there, but you can't make out what it is.
All right, he's gonna just fire an arrow through there at the movement.
All right. Oh, nice. You hear a scream from inside as your arrow actually goes right through the small gap. And it's a small gap. I mean, it wasn't much more bigger than the arrow. It's enough room to aim with. It's the size of a normal arrow slit. And it goes slamming through, and you hear a squall of pain inside. And then you hear some jabbering. Bertra?
Yeah.
You hear, my eye! He shot my eye!
Nice, you got him, yeah?
And that brings us to Nalia.
Alright, quick question. Is the oil mainly pooled at my feet, or is there anything on my hands currently?
No, it was all on the ground where the bottle broke.
That is a good question when you can produce flame.
Yes. Fantastic.
just running down Grun's back right now. It's okay.
Well, she was over a little bit when she threw the bottle, so you're okay at the moment, Grun, thankfully. Probably should put something on the map for that. Hold on. I'll do that while you're telling what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Produce Flame again. I'm gonna try again to catch this thing on fire.
So, but do I have the cart up a little bit? I just couldn't lift it up at all, or how's that work?
Well, you've got it right now. You've got it up enough where your hands are on it and you can feel it's ready to lift. If you get someone else on here strong like you might be able to throw this thing over.
Okay.
There's the oil. Broke one. And you produce flame. Would you throw it at the wagon?
Yep.
That definitely hits. There's some scurrying and scuttling noises coming from inside. You're not quite sure what's going on, but something's going on in there. Anything else, Nalia?
Nope, I think that's it for me.
That brings us to Bertra.
Bertra's still got her hands in the cart, so she's gonna try help Grant.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Yes!
Oh, nice. So, you guys kind of 1, 2, 3, and you lift, and you're able to lift this up, and as you do, and you fling it back, and you flip it over the wagon, almost over back onto it's actually back onto itself. Put it back on itself, and it starts rolling away on its wheels. It rolls a little bit, and one of the wheels is probably broken. It just kind of stops. And what you find underneath the wagon is a area where, obviously, you see some blood here and there on the ground, and you see a ladder and a hole going down in the wagon.
Ah, interesting.
No more bad guys, huh?
None present, no.
How far away did the cart go? To about.
And let me get a hold of the map and I'll move it.
Corum dives out of the way of the cart.
Cart got about to right there.
Is the hole about in line with the that marker there?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was moving the Fortress the Dib marker that I was using. That's actually where the hole is. And underneath here, all the grass, of course, is gone, and, beat down and all that. And you can tell where they were. There's a few bottles of oil and stuff sitting there. And there's a few other like spears and arrows and a few other odds and ends. But then there's this hole with a ladder going down.
Could I? I imagine I can't do anything, so I can't do any more actions, can I? I can just move a bit closer, can I?
You can move a bit closer, but that's about it. Kind of blew. Yeah, you and Grun kind of blew the rest of your action flipping that thing.
Right, I'll move to about sort of like there.
Okay, other side of the hole.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. And I'm not going to stop the combat tracker for the moment. We'll run around the top of the turn. But what are you guys doing? Because there's no combat going on.
You said there's a couple oil flasks underneath the wagon?
There's two bottles of oil flasks laying there. Yes.
Okay. So
I
unless
like
someone
where you're going with
stops
this,
me,
Brian. I like
unless
where you're going
someone
with this.
stops me, Bertra, I'm grabbing one of those flasks and I'm throwing it down the freaking hole and telling Nalia to light it on fire.
That's a fantastic idea.
All right.
That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to steal your thunder. I thought they were your friends, Bertra.
Okay, so you throw both the flasks?
No, I was gonna save one for us since Nalia
Okay.
loot one.
Okay. So you throw a flask down through there, and Nalia produces a ball of flame and tosses it down the.
Yep,
down
just gonna
the
drop it on down there.
Yeah, drop it down there. And I'm not going to make you roll for it. And you step back as you hear the whoosh of the oil and the flame. It all catches on fire, and you can look down there now, and you can look through the hole, and you look down, and you can see down there. There's a ladder, of course, the ladder you can see, and there's a tunnel down there, and the bottom of the ladder is now on fire.
Yep. I'm good with that.
Yes, I can't get out.
So, maybe we just kick some dirt and shit. Hold up. just bury this guy in there, and if it turns out he made a little escape hatch, somewhere else, then good for him. If it doesn't, then good for us.
Sounds fine by me.
Okay, so I will stop combat then.
How many arrows were over there? So I'd grab the arrows and split them between Corum.
Roll a d6.
Oh,
So
guess there's only one.
you only found one. Make it two because I said there was some. So make it two. Now the arrows they're a little short though because they're goblin arrows. So you guys rummage around, start pulling rocks and whatever, and start filling this hole in.
Oh, we're burying them now?
Yeah, burying them. So you start filling the hole in. I guess one of you stands back with the bow, or it might be Nadia with a fireball bolt waiting to roast anything. It might pop its head out. But it takes you about 10-15 minutes to fill the hole enough to bury it in and collapse it in to where it fills up. And now what, guys?
Bertram would like to poke our heads in the cart and check what's inside.
Inside the cart itself, the wagon's long empty. Like I said, it does have actually one broken wheel and one wheel about to break. It looks like someone along the lines decided that they could turn this cart over and turn it into a fortress, and they've been harassing passerbyers with it ever since. It's been modified. There's some rather rough-looking carpentry work that's been done to it to create the arrow slits and the stuff that they were shooting with you out of. The back door, probably one good swift kick from Corum would have probably knocked it in.
Anything of importance in this moat thing?
The moat, as you're standing there, appears to be a combination of water that they've dumped in there, maybe a few other sundry items, refuge, chamber pots, what have you, might have been dumped into this. It's pretty scuzzy and nasty looking. Quorum definitely would have been unhappy if he'd have fallen in it.
All right, I'll step away. I've already had my one bath this month.
Yeah, Bertram just straight up walked over it.
Yes, she's got the stride to do that.
Yeah, I've seen sewers that smell better than this.
I'm going to do a tracking check. I want to see if there's any kind of escape hole in the area. And I say to Dash, Dash, go look around and see if you think this guy could come out anywhere.
All right, give me the checks there. Give me nature or tracking, what have you. Survival, that works very well as well.
Or would investigation work for it or no?
That would work, yeah.
So everybody's doing this, or what's going on?
He told Dash to go look for it. I mean, all of you could. Of course, you're also somebody burying in the hole too. You rummage around for a little bit and look around. You do a fairly thorough job of it, and you're pretty sure that you're not able to.
You cut out, Jason.
Sorry, you're pretty sure you can't find any kind of exit or anything like that from this place.
He failed rule number 1 for digging holes.
Is the cart by any means salvageable?
It's not really a cart; it's a wagon. You could probably spend a little bit of time and do some carpentry work to it and turn it into an actual cart instead of a wagon. But the wheel that's broken is fairly well broken, and one of the other wheels is well on its way to being broken. So if you couldn't use it as a wagon.
Well, shall we burn it so no one else can use it? to harass people?
If we burn it, we might draw attention. I don't know if it's a good thing or not.
That's true.
It might bring the trolls to us, though.
That's very true. We could use this as the same trap for the trolls.
Definitely a distraction.
But we haven't seen any troll tracks up to this point, correct?
No, the only kind of tracks you've even seen partially, wagon tracks and animal tracks on the road, and the few goblin tracks that either Dash or Quorum One saw, and those were pretty degraded in the road itself.
So Grano suggests that we just destroy it, not necessarily burn it, just so these these goblins are eventually gonna get out of this hole and probably try to do the same thing again. And did we bury it while it was smoking and smoldering?
Well, yes, the oil was still burning. That's actually out of character. That'd be why they couldn't come back and try to harass their way out of it to get back out of the hole before you buried them in there, because you had a flask of oil there burning at the bottom.
Right. So would Grun have an idea whether or not they would just die from smoke inhalation from that then?
Give me a nature check.
Nature or survival?
Survival would work too. Yeah, Grun's pretty sure that a combination of smoke inhalation and knocking off probably the only air hole they had might be a bad thing for them.
Okay.
Even if they're not dead now, they're probably not in a very good way.
Right. So I'll share with the rest of the group that these guys are probably going to be dead in a few minutes, half hour, whatever.
You also might share that, if you were say, since you're going to burn the wagon, if you put that over top of the hole and burn it there, the smoke would go down into the hole.
Okay. Yeah, Grunt's still not too keen on burning it because he doesn't want to draw attention to the trolls unless that's what the rest of the group wants to do.
No, so that's just he might share that with them.
Okay. All right, fellas, what do you think? You want to use the burnt wagon as a way to draw in the trolls? Keep on searching.
Keep on searching, because they might not be close, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So assume our tracking positions again, I guess.
Okay. So you guys move back into your travel configuration as you start moving down the road there again. It's probably, by the time the fight occurred, with your shopping in town, that sort of stuff, it's probably pushing early afternoon now. As you start moving down the road, you go another, well, actually do this. Who's in the lead? Who's the furthest ahead?
Assuming it's Dash or Quorum, right?
Yeah, usually it'll be Dash and Quorum, I think, kind of taking the lead.
Okay.
We'll say Dash, but yeah, I think he's AFK for a second.
Okay. Then one of you, I don't care which one of you, give me a D20 roll.
Just straight D20?
It's a straight D20.
Oh, really? No,
Really?
No. He rolled it wrong. He put one S20, whatever that is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw that. One S20 is bad.
Hey guys, I got the tail end of that. I don't know which one of us would have actually been in front, but
Well, we're have.
All right,
So-
Rand, you're not allowed to roll anymore.
Hey, I'm glad I'm getting them out of the way right now, dude.
So as you're coming across through there, a caravan comes down the road, kind of coming toward you all. There's a group of merchants. Then you first encounter the group of guards that are riding guard on the caravan as they approach to you. They're riding, for the most part, a mix of war horses and riding horses. The guards are. There's 3 of them that are riding out front as they approach you. The first one of the ones in the lead, you're not quite sure who's in charge, but one of them stops a good bow shot from you and yells out, "What's your business here?"
Grun will kind of whisper to the other guys, are we telling them what we're doing? We never talked about that before we left. Is this like a secret thing, or is this like public knowledge?
I think that we're doing a public service here. I think telling them exactly what we're doing would be a good thing.
Okay. Then go right ahead, Quorum.
Sir, we are hunting trolls in this area. We heard they were plaguing the people who had come to visit the fair city, and we have decided to step up our game and take them out for you.
Ah, quite good of you to take care of those trolls. We haven't encountered any in the last few hours. However, there were some signs about a day's ride back.
In the direction we are heading currently, or is it in a slightly different direction?
Yes, you can't miss the sign of them. They're right off. What we saw was right beside the road. Apparently, there was a damaged wagon there, not unlike the one here. And he points to the one. Well, actually, you all left that, so never mind. It was a damaged wagon there. It had been broken and shattered, and there were a number of troll footprints near it. We fanned out and looked for any survivors, but we didn't find anything.
A day's travel. Well, that sucks. All right.
Is there a good place to make camp around here?
Yes, actually, there is a spot, and he gestures back down the road. Says, maybe you're on foot, correct?
Yes.
Just checking. Some people tend to be cautious, but anyway, just maybe another 2 hours, 3 hours walk from here back this way. If right off to the side of the road there is a clearing, and that's actually where a number of caravans will stop when they can't reach the city by nightfall. We considered stopping there ourselves, but by this point he slowly started approaching you, so he's no longer yelling across the field at you, and he's close enough now that you can talk to him normally. I said, well, to be honest, we would have stopped, but the little jerk in charge of the caravan insisted we ride through the evening. I told him there's trolls in the area, but he didn't listen to me.
We will be happy to check it out for you.
We appreciate it. How far are we out from Gumtar?
About half a day.
Excellent. Then we should be able to make it before not too long after nightfall. We'll still have to camp, though, because the gates will be closed, but at least we'll be camped outside the city gates. Excellent. Best of luck to you.
Run, we'll tell him. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that wagon that you mentioned, was that flipped upside down, or was it just destroyed on the side?
No, it was just smashed. It was just bits and pieces of a wagon. That's why we would have probably salvaged it.
Well, Grun would just share with them what they just encountered back here with the whole goblin fortress thing, whatever. And tell them that they should be dead, but just keep an eye out.
Ah, yes, we'll be most alert then. So you say there's a wagon, a broken wagon near that location as well?
Yeah, they made it some kind of a makeshift little fortress of theirs, but it didn't work out too good for them.
Excellent, my friends. Excellent. Best of travels to you.
You two keep safe.
Just as he said, you hear this guy in the back stand up. He's standing on like the second wagon back in the caravan, and he starts yelling, "What's the hold up? What's the hold up? Come on, we got schedules to keep." And you can tell by looking at him, he's a merchant. He's in a hurry. The guy on the horse kind of shakes his head and goes, "Some merchants never learn."
Grun will ask him if he's actually transporting actual goods, or does a merchant traveling by himself?
Well, then the caravan actually has like 4 or 5 wagons in it. One wagon is actually, you can tell from just the shape and the look of it, and from the number of years you've been working in and around wagons and travel. One of them is actually a mobile kitchen. The others appear to be wagons of goods and supplies coming into the city.
All right, so Grun's gonna kind of boldly kind of tap the little ring on his horn. So, you guys interested in possibly selling anything along the road?
You'd have to go talk to the merchant, but he hasn't stopped for anybody yet so far, friend.
All right, well, we'll give it a shot.
All right.
You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see if we can get a better deal than what I got back in town. Shit. All right, who wants to be the face of the group talking to this dude?
At this point, while you guys make the decision, the little guy's hopped down off the wagon. He's stalking toward the guy, the guards at the front.
Is it a human? Is it a what
It's
race is he?
he's human, kind of portly. He's really more waddling than stalking. It's actually somewhat comical. He's wearing probably what for his city or at some point was probably considered a high fashion. Now it's kind of outdated. Even you all who are not really fashionable can tell that his fashion is a bit out of date. As he approaches towards you, what's the holdup? Why are we waiting? Why are we talking to these ruffians?
I'll speak up if no one else is going to. All right. We were just telling your friend there about there was a goblet ambush site up the road a little bit. We think we took care of him, but we just thought it'd be our duty to kind of warn you guys of any impending danger here.
Well, if you're taking care of them, why are they in danger?
Well, we think we took care of it. So just
so you didn't do the job completely.
God, Grun's biting his tongue now. It's like, good sir, we were just letting you know of a potential warning, and we'll let you be on your way. But we were warning.
Very well, then get out of my way.
All right, Grun's gonna walk away before he punches this guy.
But Birch is gonna lean down, bare her teeth a little bit, and say,
It's not a good idea to insult potential customers. Now is it?
Do you have gold? Do I have a tin up?
Yes.
Then you're not a customer. You're just in my way.
You're a rude little man.
And you're an overgrown woman. What's your point?
Oh, jeez.
No point, really. Just
Well then,
not very.
and he starts stalking back to his wagon, or more waddling.
I go back to Grun and say,
I really wanted to put my axe in his head.
just whispering.
I had a character once that couldn't whisper. Made it really fun.
So do you continue on for the campsite?
Yep, we head
Okay.
that way.
So it takes
Assuming
you.
standard formation.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Unless you guys tell me otherwise, I'll assume that layout takes you about, like the guy said, 2 or 3 hours to get there. By the time you get there, it's pushing time to actually start pitching a camp and gathering wood for a fire and that sort of thing. What do you do when you arrive there?
But Birch will look around for nearby food and stuff, so they can.
All right, you actually find a not too far from there is a small stream of water, and there's actually I don't want to say there's actually a sign, but you see enough of a walkway leaving from this campsite because you can tell it's been used by merchants regularly. That seems to lead off to it. You quickly find this source of fresh water that's nearby that you can near the site. As far as food, it would take you a bit of work. I need a survival check to see what you can rummage up as far as food's concerned.
Would I have advantage on it? Because with Outlander it says I can, if I look, I can gather enough food for 5 people.
Yeah, you have
I'm
advantage.
not sure how long.
I'll give you advantage on that.
So I just rolled 2 survival check.
Yeah, just roll. You can actually, on your sheet, there's a button that'll give you advantage. I don't have it on my screen anymore. Hey, put that back on here. Turned it off and didn't turn it back on. Just either roll 2 or just flip it to advantage and on your sheet, and then you can go from there. Okay. So it doesn't take you that long, and you're able to find rummage ups enough odds and ends to make a meal for the evening for everybody.
Hey.
In the meantime, while she's doing this, what are the rest of you doing?
Dash would take some time just to walk around the camp and see if he can find any evidence of, I don't know, trolls or goblins just around the camp. Just make sure we're not camping in a
Give me a survival check to see what you see in the tracks.
Yeah, Grunt will either give him advantage by helping him, or he'll do it himself as well.
Okay, either way. Roll an
Do you want advantage? You want your choice. Let me know.
I got a +4. I guess I'll take the advantage.
Okay.
Excellent.
Oop, wrong button.
Nice. So you rummage around, walk around for a little bit while Bertra's off, looking for water and food and that sort of thing. You see a number of tracks. You see the tracks of deer. You see the tracks of some raccoons. You see the track of a few other animals that are common to the area. You don't see any kind of troll tracks or any kind of goblin tracks in this area. Doesn't mean they're not here. That doesn't mean they're not here. You didn't see tracks for them.
All right, so I guess we're going to make a makeshift camp and decide who's going to take first watch.
That's what it sounds like.
Corum will take first watch.
Corum's got first watch. 4-hour watches, 2-hour watches. What?
4-hour watch.
Okay.
I guess if nobody else wants to take the other watch, Dash will. I figure we need our spellcasters to get a long rest.
Okay. So the first one of you, give me a perception check. Your watch seems to pass with nothing. You do hear some movement in the brush, but nothing that's not accounted for by an animal or something moving through the brush. Your watch passes pretty uneventful. Corum, you're what, a half elf?
Full elf.
Full elf, okay. And then Dash is next, right?
Yep.
So you're 4 hours. So give me a same thing, perception or check there. Oh, same, nice. Yeah, your watch passes with no events as well. Again, you do hear some stuff moving in the brush off, but nothing that seems to be concerning to you. You're tabaxi, so okay. So the night passes fairly calmly, with the possible exception of 1 second.
The possible exception of an adult red dragon.
No, possible exception of rain. About halfway through Dash's watch, it starts raining. And the temperature drops a little bit, but it's more the tropics like kind of area that you're in, so it's not that big of a deal. But it is a nice steady, by the time you get up in the morning, it's a nice steady rain. And Dash has had to work pretty aggressively to keep a fire going throughout the night.
Morning, guys.
Rain. Now, I'm assuming we're like in tents, right? We didn't like get soaking wet during the night. Is that correct?
Did you bring a tent?
I don't know. Is that part of an explorer's pack?
I don't think so, but we can look it up here and see.
I don't think it is either.
My giblets are wet, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a tent is not part of an explorer's pack.
I'm actually pulling up right now. Let's see. Backpack, bedroll, mess kit, tinderbox, torch, rations, water skin, hemp rope. Nope, you're wet.
No. All right.
But now, actually, a bedroll, in a traditional sense, a real bedroll would have been in addition to your blanket, would have been a waterproof wrap, so you won't be soaked, but you weren't in a tent.
Okay. So Grunt will wake up. We forgot to get a tent. Actually, you probably brought that up the night before. Has anybody got a tent?
See, there's benefits to traveling with Twig.
Yep. All right, so so we went. That was how I was like 2 hours down. They said it was like a day's ride, ride or day's walk.
He said it was a day's ride.
Oh shit! It's probably like 2 days walk for us. Okay, guys, you ready for this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's assume the position.
And you begin trooping on. And here's what I say: we'll stop here and we'll pick up in our next session when you guys arrive at the area where the holes are at. Sound good?
Yep, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, as long as we get 104 experience.
Let me stop the recording real quick.